Hello everybody, Cooper here, and welcome back to another episode of my NBA 2K25 MyGM series here with the Los Angeles Lakers. I hope you're all doing very well today. It is Christmas Eve. We're going up against the Toronto Raptors, who I believe are the second seed in the East. They're actually doing very well right now. We're currently 27-2. But before we get into today's game, we are going to make one trade, as we've got a couple of contracts on our team in Donovan Clingan and Josh Green, and to be perfectly honest, they haven't played a great deal for us. I think I'll trade them, to be honest. Let's just get them off the team. As good as they are very good, talented players. I think they can serve us, very well on another team. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to trade them to the Dallas Mavericks, who are currently the second seed in the West. So I'm hopeful that they can provide a bit of a challenge for us. Now, we'll need to trade two players from the Mavericks to us. We're going to take Royce O'Neal off of their hands to make the money work, as well as Aaron Holiday, as we don't have a backup point guard apart from Gabriel Hayes, who we thought was going to be good, but I don't think he's actually going to be up to standard. So we're just going to get another backup point guard. I don't expect either of these two players to play. What we're going to do is we're going to get a draft pick in 2032 from the Mavericks, along with 3 second-round picks. I think that is good value. The Mavericks are looking to upgrade some of their, I don't think Clingan will start over Derek Lively, and Josh Green probably won't start a small forward, but it's a definite upgrade over what they currently have, and I think it's essentially, these two players don't really count. They're in it for a salary dump. And I think a first round pick and 3 seconds for these two players is really good value. Even though Clingan is on an expiring contract, I still think it's good value for both teams, to be honest. This is the only trade we're going to be doing in this episode, unless I come up with something drastic towards the end of the episode. But this deal should go through. I anticipate that it will, and it does. If we now look at our future draft pick stash, we still have the 3 first round picks in this year's draft. We have a swap best with the 76ers and the Clippers in 2029. We have 2 first rounders in 2030. We have the Suns pick, which we picked up via the Rob Dillingham trade in 2031. And we now have 2 firsts in 2032, our own first round pick, plus the Mavericks pick that we just acquired, as well as the 3 second rounders, 2 of which are from the Mavericks and 1 of which is actually from the Suns, separate to the other trade that we did. In terms of our rotation, I'm just going to shorten things right down now, because I think 7 guys, we're sort of almost at the halfway point of the season, maybe even 8 guys, I think is going to be plenty to get this, rest of the season underway. I think an 8-man rotation will sort of go our starters with LaMelo, Bronny, obviously Karl Anthony Towns is injured at the moment, if you didn't watch the last episode. Cam Thomas can start the 3, Brandon Miller can play the 4, and Richard Walsh can start the 5. And then some combination of Collier, Malone, and Kent Gary can make up the rest of the minutes. And if we really get desperate, we obviously do have some of these other players on the bench here that hopefully can make a bit of an impact in some of the limited minutes that they will get in the simulation. I'm not sure how I'm going to spread the minutes out, but sort of from 1 through to 8, this will be sort of the lineup. Once Karl Anthony Towns comes back, we'll take Gary out and he can sort of be without minutes. And then I think Cam Thomas or Bronny, I imagine, will move to the bench depending on, probably Bronny, I would say, not Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas has been really good this year. And then that will be rotation for the rest of the year, I dare say. In terms of the rest of our roster, things are pretty similar to, how things have looked for the majority of the season. Obviously, this is the first trade we've made for the season, but I anticipate this will probably be the same roster going into next season as well. Sort of the main core of guys: Brandon Miller, LaMelo. Towns has played a lot bigger role than I probably anticipated. I think with LaMelo getting injured earlier in the season, we needed a bit more scoring out of Towns. I didn't think he'd be over 20 points a game, and he's been really good double-digit rebounds for the first time since 2021. So to be getting that out of him at 32 years of age, I've been pretty happy with it, and he's been very good, passing the ball. He's protecting the rim. He's doing everything we'd pretty much want from him, and I think Richard Walsh as our, rookie, where's my voice going? As our rookie, he has been very good as well. 19 points a game, 8 boards, Although how many minutes a game is he? He's playing 38 minutes a game, so he's definitely, probably not going to be a 20 and 10 guy this year, I dare say. But if we can get, him in his prime to be a 20, 10 and 5 guy with a couple of blocks a game, he might be a future MVP candidate. I think he's going to be really special. But our main concern, I think, this offseason is not really anybody in the draft. We'll have a look. Actually, that's one thing I haven't showcased yet as our draft prospects for this year. We'll get to that in a minute, but our main sort of concern, I think, is bringing Bronny James back. He's expiring at the end of the year. We can't offer him a contract until the end of the season when free agency hits. Like all these guys down here, Royce O'Neal, I dare say we won't bring back, and probably not Aaron Holiday either. All these guys down here are locked up on multi-year contracts. But Bronny is probably the only other core member that I really want to, sign to a long-term deal. He's having a phenomenal season. 12 points a game, 5 boards, 5 assists, just under a steal and a block a game, 59% from the field, 51% from 3, just under 80% from the free throw line in basically 26 minutes a game. He's been really good. But if we look at the mock draft for this season, there's a couple of guys here that I think are going to be really good. Anderson Drew is the #1 ranked prospect. He looks really good. He's got a Sam Jones, who was a player back with the Boston Celtics in the 1960s. He is that's the NBA player comparison for him. We can't see any of his sort of stats at this stage, but he's got C+ rating from 3, good perimeter defense, good playmaking, good athleticism. He's got good potential. We don't really need another shooting guard, so if we somehow landed the #1 pick, I dare say we would either trade down or trade it for something. There are 2 center prospects that I am looking at, and I've got my draft board here. There's actually 4 prospects that I'm looking at. We'll cover Mario Salerno in a minute, but there's these 2 center prospects here, Hans Kramer and Sam O'Neal. They're basically the same kind of player, they're just slightly different. Hans Kramer's from Germany. He's a really good post defender and rebounder, so he would probably be filling in the Klingon role. Draft him, 22 years of age, just chips in with the odd minutes here and there. Other than that, I don't see a lot for him. He's not a great shooter. He's okay inside. We don't know what his potential is at this stage, but apart from post defense and rebounding, that's basically all he provides. Whereas Sam O'Neal, who's a couple of years younger, he comes from Michigan State University. He's not a great shooter, but C mid-range, C- 3-point shooting. He's a decent playmaker. Perimeter defense isn't great, but he's got really good post defense. Isn't as strong as a rebounder as Kramer, but does have good potential. So that might be, when Karl Anthony Towns gets a bit older, he might be the replacement. He's projected to go 9th overall. At this stage, I'm probably leaning towards him. He's 6'10" with a 7'3" wingspan, whereas Kramer is 6'11" with a 7'1" wingspan and is a couple of years older. Then there's Jonathan Teague, who is just a backup point guard. He's currently in the G League Ignite team. Really good playmaker, not a great defender, but is really good with the ball in his hands. He's got decent potential, and he can shoot a little bit. More of like an inside scoring sort of kind of guy who's really good with playmaking. He's probably a 2nd round prospect. He's 6'1", not giant at all by any means. As I said, 2nd round prospect, or end of the 1st round. And then lastly, there's Mario Salerno. We do need a backup small forward. He's from Italy, 6'5", 234 pounds. Does a bit of everything. He's 18 years old. He's not really good at any one thing. He's got B potential, but I think, sort of in the 15 to 25 range in the draft, he could be a really good pickup. He's a good 3-point shooter, good playmaker, not a bad defender. But I think if we can get Salerno and O'Neal in the draft next year, or in this coming year, I should say, I think that'll be the way to go. But I think we should be okay with, if we can't get O'Neal and we get Kramer, I'm not going to, be too upset. But I would much prefer Sam O'Neal. And Jonathan Teague, if he's there and we have a pick in the 2nd round, we'll obviously take him as well. But I just want to have a quick look before we get into the Raptors game at the Dallas roster. They look really good now. I wanted to prop up one of our opponents come playoff time. So I've obviously got Luka, they've got Kyrie, Derek Lively, Klingon, Quentin Grimes is good, AJ Griffin's on the team, before he retired from basketball. Josh Green, we've actually sent back to Dallas. Funnily enough, he was drafted there initially, played with us and Charlotte for a bit, and he's back sort of where he got drafted. They got Omax, Dylan Brooks is now on the roster. Dorian Finney-Smith, I'm pretty sure he also used to play for Dallas back in the day. So they've got a bit of a squad. They got Kevin Looney. I think they're going to be a real competitive team come playoff time. They have been for basically the entire series, so just something to keep an eye on. But let's, not delay this any longer. Let's get into the Raptors game. Home game in Los Angeles. We've got the home court advantage, A grade rating, and we win the tip as well. Always very happy to get that going. But I'm feeling pretty confident about this matchup. Toronto pretty good in the East, but obviously the East not as strong as the West traditionally. Walsh gets a 3 in the corner straight away to get us started. Couple of quick baskets for the Raptors in response to our threes. We'll get, again, another screen from Walsh. We'll drive with Melo. There we go. Another good finish and one. Hartenstein with the foul. LaMelo with the quick dime. And Walsh gets the dunk to go. Pretty high scoring first minute, or sort of couple of minutes in this game. 14 for the Lakers, 8 for the Raptors. LaMelo finds Cam Thomas in the corner. Can't get the 3 to go. We've only missed a handful of shots so far. Scotty Barnes is getting to the room far too easy there. Very offensive game so far. Let's give it up to LaMelo. Get another pick and roll going with Walsh. There we go. Dunk it again. 8 points so far for Walsh. And LaMelo, 4 early assists as well in just under 5 minutes. 4.5 minutes, 4 assists on the game. Brandon Miller feeling a little undersized at the 4 in terms of having Scotty Barnes on him. Good contest by Walsh. Grady Dick open for 3. Knocks it down. Jacoby Walter coming off the screen. Doesn't take the 3. Grady Dick misses his 3 coming out of the timeout as well. Gary into the game. Goes up with the lefty. Oh, misses. He had the smaller Jacoby Walter on him. Probably could have taken a little bit more time. He's taking a long time to get back on defense. Oh, we can't get an offensive rebound. De'Aaron Fox for 3. Knocks it down. Now within 2 points. Scores still tied. 5 minutes to go in the quarter. LaMelo hands off to Brandon Miller. Launches a 3. Makes it. Couple of jumpers on the game now for Brandon Miller. He's averaging about 27 a game so far. Having a very good season. I think it's like 27, 7, and 5 or something like that. Definitely in the MVP chase. Jacoby Walter kicks back to De'Aaron Fox. He's been given the space and Walsh just slaps it out of the sky. Let's slow down. Actually, let's give it back to Brandon Miller. Goes up with the left hand. Tight contest. Couldn't get it to go. I really wished we finished that play. That would have been really good to... Who is on Hartenstein? My God. Barnes for 3. We concede another offensive rebound. Grady Dick won't miss that. Oh, he does. Just get an offensive rebound, guys. What are we doing? All right, couple of plays changed now. Couple of players changed, I should say, coming out of the timeout. We've got Damian Collier into the game. Bronny's back in. Gets fouled. Gets the layup to go. And he's going to go to the foul line. Knocks down the free throw as well. Now, Brandon Miller has quite the job on Scotty Barnes. Just as Scotty Barnes has quite the job on Brandon Miller. Stay in front of him. That's... Alright, let's get Brandon Miller in the pick and fade. Bronny. Brandon Miller, there we go. Get the defender in the air. Posterized! Scotty Barnes, I think it was down there. Good defense, guys. Really good defense. Gary with another rebound. Brandon Miller. Gonna go pick and fade. He's open for 3. Can't get it to go to extend the lead to 5. Not a bad shot to take. Gary to stay down low. Bronny with the foul, unfortunately. Should be able to go for a 2-for-1 here. Depending on how much time we take on the deal. Alright, let's go for it here. Bronny. Driving to the basket. Collier. Go baseline. Put it up. Draw the foul. Can't get it to go. Collier misses both free throws, which isn't ideal. And now De'Aaron Fox is the defensive assignment. After missing 2 free throws on our end and then conceding a and 1 on the other end, safe to say I am disappointed with how the end of this quarter has gone. We get 2 points there via Gary. He's got 4 and 3 to start the game. Now we just got to play good defense for 5 seconds. Scotty Barnes thought about taking the 2. They hit a corner 2. I don't think we're going to get a shot up. We're down by 3 in a high-scoring first quarter. Not the best start for us. We'll look at the game stats for the Raptors first before we get into the second quarter. And I just remembered that we need to look at what De'Aaron Fox got traded for. I believe it was RJ Barrett and some picks, if I remember correctly. No, we can't actually look at what it is on this screen, unfortunately. But he's actually playing his first game for the Raptors today, which is interesting. He's leading the way, 3 of 7 from the field, 8 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. Scotty Barnes tied up with him, 8 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 3 of 6 from the field. He's also got a steal to his name as well. Roberto Sursa hit a 3. He's got 5 points. Grady Dick has 5 points on the board. Jacoby Walter, Isaiah Hartenstein, all contributing offensively as well. In terms of the Lakers, Richard Walsh, 8 points and a rebound with a block, which he swatted out of the sky, which is fantastic. It's been a little disappointing shooting from 3, but, you know, we can't all get what we want sometimes. Brandon Miller and Cam Thomas played the entire first quarter. I think Brandon Miller's going to keep going, but Cam Thomas is going to sit down to start the second quarter. Damian Collier, really good from the field. Missed both his free throws, a little bit sad. Kent Gary, doing Kent Gary things. Bronny and LaMelo have 9 assists between them to start the game, both sharing some point guard minutes as well. In terms of the team comparison, we've already conceded 6 offensive rebounds, which makes me sad in a way that I don't fully understand. Our biggest lead of the game was 8, and their biggest lead is 3, which is what the current lead is. We're currently out shooting them in terms of percentages, but obviously missing some free throws. They're shooting a lot more free throws than we are. And, they're just killing us on the second chance points, which is not helping. Also, on the fast break as well, 9-0 on that. It's only the first quarter. The Raptors are a quality side. I look forward to seeing how the rest of this game plays out. Second quarter now underway. De'Aaron Fox leading the charge for the Raptors. An early lob. Just not paying attention there whatsoever. They extend the lead to 5. The biggest lead of the game for them. Collier playing some 2-guard minutes for us. Going to get Gary involved in the game. Actually, he's going to get to the rim. Gets fouled. I'm a little bit nervous about it because his last trip to the line ended with nothing. But we make that one, which is a good start. And hopefully we can make this second one, which we do. Collier now has an early 7 points coming off the bench. Very nice work. De'Aaron Fox, as we've mentioned, one of the fastest players in the NBA, even 4 seasons into this MyGM series. LaMelo is the second rebound on the game. Let's get Walsh and Gary on the screen. Walsh driving, gets the layup, now has 10, cuts the lead down to 1. Gary inbounds it to Walsh, I should say. We get the 3 and we tie the game. Walsh hits a second 3 of the ball game, and Gary gets an assist for his troubles. We'll give De'Aaron Fox the jumper. I don't mind giving him that shot, although he does make it. De'Aaron Fox, has improved his jump shot over the years. It was pretty scratchy coming out of college, but it's getting better. LaMelo pulls up in the mid-range. We finally get another offensive rebound. Good work, Walsh, and Miller going to pull up in the mid-range, as he so often does. Gets that jumper to go. He now has 9. Now out to a 4-point lead for us. I like how this sort of second quarter has been playing out. LaMelo forces De'Aaron Fox to pull up in the mid-range. Gary, another rebound. Walsh kicks it to Bronny. Drives baseline. Out to a 6-point game. I believe our highest lead was 8. So we're well within our reach of that. LaMelo forces De'Aaron Fox. Another pull-up jumper. I'm comfortable with him taking long twos. That is absolutely fine. As long as it's sort of not a three and not a dunk, he can do whatever he likes. LaMelo, try and get a basket for yourself this time, buddy. Actually, hand off to Bronny. Wasn't on. Cam Thomas will find LaMelo on the perimeter. He can put up the three. He knocks it down. Couple of assists in the quarter for Cam Thomas. I wonder what his career high for assists is. I reckon it's like 6. It can't be any more than 6. I would be amazed if that's the case. De'Aaron Fox with another long two. He probably could have gone to the rim. He's already got 9 points the quarter. He's got 17 on the game. Come on, Cam Thomas. Flare to the corner. Can't get his defender up in the air. Walsh is up top by himself. We're going to go for it. And we knock it down. Walsh has 20 in the first half. And more importantly, now a double-digit lead. And the double-digit lead appears, or disappears, just as quickly as we got it. Corey Gray gets the layup to go. His first field goal of the game. Let's get those 2 points back. LaMelo has the Gazman in the corner. We're not going to take it. Cam Thomas off of the screen. Launches the three again. Hit a couple of threes in the first quarter. Apart from that, he's been pretty quiet. Although does have... Well, Cam Thomas is out here. Does have a couple of assists to his name. Let's slow the play down. We need a ball handler to come and get it. There you go. Thank you, Bronny. All right, let's set the screen. Thank you. Bronny at the elbow. Got Gray with the offensive rebound and the slam. What a first half for Gray. 10 points, 8 boards. He's been outstanding. Doing well, doing well. Stay with it. Gary get the rebound. Walsh got it. As long as somebody gets it, I don't care who gets it. LaMelo. Ooh, Cam Thomas. Tries to get his defender up in the air. Can't. Drives right. Gets the dunk inside. Now has 8. 15-point game. 2.5 minutes to go. Walsh sets the screen for LaMelo. Bronny's in the corner. We'll give it to Gary. If it was a mid-range, I'd take it. Let's get the pick and roll again. LaMelo drives left. Pulls up in the mid-range. Knocks it down. He's now got 9. Apparently, Jacoby Walter has hit 23 field goals. Now, I don't necessarily believe that, but we're going to go with it. LaMelo gets inside the paint. Gets it back to a 20-point lead. Now we just need one good defensive play, and we have a 20-point lead at halftime. So far, so good. 10 seconds to go. False screen by Barnes. Nothing in it so far. Gary has him on the inside. Don't foul. Damn. Stat time, and what a first half it has been, despite conceding a layup on Scotty Barnes at the end there. We've had 3 guys play over 20 minutes so far, so a little bit in terms of the minute spread, not great. But, you know, Richard Walsh, 24-1 with a block, 3-6 from deep, 8 for 12 from the field. Pretty good. LaMelo, 13, 3-10. Only has the 1 turnover to his name. 6 for 8 from the field, 1 for 2 from deep. He's been very good. Cam Thomas, who's actually played the most minutes out of everybody, which is kind of surprising. Only has the 11 points, but has made 3 threes. Has been pretty good as well. The Gazman got the double-double, got an assist, got a steal. 5 of 8 from the field, basically all you want from him. Brandon Miller, who's hit jumpers when we've needed him to. Bronny James has been very good, especially inside the paint. Also has 3 assists to his name. And then Collier off the bench. Hasn't missed a field goal, 2 of 4 from the foul line. Has been pretty good, been pretty happy with his work. And then we head over to the Raptors side of things. De'Aaron Fox really lit it up that quarter. He now has 17 on the first half. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Not the most efficient from the field, 7 of 18 on the game. You know, we're forcing him to take a lot of sort of mid-range jumpers, which is, to be honest, what we're actually going for. But he's knocked some down. He's knocked down a few threes. If we can keep the ball out of his hands, it will definitely be a lot better. Scotty Barnes, 11, 4, and 3 with a steal. Been pretty good. He is their best player, but he's playing his first game with De'Aaron Fox. There might be a bit of a mix-up there. Team comparison-wise, you know, the team stats are definitely favoring us a lot more than the first quarter. The points in the paint, we are just, all on top of. 53% from 3, 68% from the field, only 67% from the foul line. But we're on top of the defensive boards. They've got the offensive rebounds. Our biggest lead is 21. It's currently 18. Hopefully we can push that out towards, the 20 to 30 mark by the game's end. Bench points have been really good, as have the assist numbers. Obviously, we'd like to do a little bit better on the second chance and fast break points. But, in all the grand scheme of things, I think we're going to be fine. Can the Raptors mount a comeback in this second half in Los Angeles? It's been a bit of a double handoff between Scotty Barnes and Jacoby Walter to start the third quarter. And it gets them a bucket. Margin down to 16 points. I almost said 15 points. LaMelo double-double in the first half. Finds Bronny in the perimeter. Finds Cam Thomas. Puts up the 3. Margin back out to 19. Miller. Actually, we're not going to go for the pick and roll here because he does have Hartenstein and just dunks all over Dick in that one. Does a very nice job. Okay, you can see that Walsh has Grady down in the post. So if we can get it to him. Post up. Hopefully the double comes. It doesn't. We get an easy 2 down low. Lead back to 17. Let's get Gary down low. Let's get a strong pick and roll. We've got Hartenstein on the perimeter. There we go. Gary in the mid-range. He's not a bad mid-range shooter. We just can't get that one to go, unfortunately. Grady Dick has 2 defenders on him. Nobody's on Hartenstein. Now a 10-point game. Starting to get a little concerned. We've made some changes. Hopefully this lineup can get us back to where we were at the start of the second half. Gary finally gets a layup to go. Gets it back to a double-digit lead. He now has 12 on the game to go with his rebounds. Walsh is also back in, and he's guarding Fox on the perimeter, which is interesting. Scotty Barnes for 3. Knocks it down. It's now a 7-point game. Barnes on Miller. What's he going to do? Don't foul. It's another offensive rebound. We stop the second chance point. Bronny has all the space in the world. We can't get it to him in time, though. Oh, Gary's going to get it back. No. That's not the pass I wanted. Okay. Walsh, drive by. Get inside. Oh, I can't get the points to go, man. It's a 2-possession game, guys. I'm really panicking here. I am really panicking. They have been all over us in this second half. We were thinking we were going to get it to like a 30-point lead. But no, they have absolutely killed us in this second half. There we go. Oh, my Lord. Okay, we just are not getting enough defensive stops. Collier, I don't think he's touched the ball since he's been subbed in. But he's not doing a bad job here. We can just keep Barnes on the perimeter. I don't mind him taking a 3. We force the miss at least, and we get the offensive or the defensive rebound. Okay, but there's nothing inside that we can do. Bronny, get to the rim. We finally get a bucket. Just got to be strong. Don't foul. That's good enough. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. We just need easy buckets. Give it back to Bronny. Hand off to Walsh. Drive left. Finish inside. Oh, how do you miss that? Stay on Grady. Stay on Grady. Don't concede the 3. Okay, that's good enough. Just get rid of it. 6-point lead going into the final quarter. That was an absolute disaster, that quarter. We got to be better than that. Stat time. Walsh still leading the way. 25, 7, and 2. Yet to add to his defensive stats. 4 of 9 from 3. I mean, we'd wish he'd made a few more, but not going to complain too much. Gary's been good, in the spots he has been. He's just a little bit slow with his feet defensively. LaMelo, we just gave him a little bit of rest towards the end of that quarter. He's played very well. Cam Thomas has been good. Brandon Miller's been good. I don't think he scored that quarter. He just had the 2 points, 1 of 4, and the quarter's not great. And then Bronny, 11, 5, and 6. Pretty good at the starting 2. And then Collier, again, I don't think scored that quarter in the 6 minutes he played. De'Aaron Fox, Scotty Barnes, Isaiah Hartenstein, they've all been very good in this game for the Raptors. I'm just a bit nervous that, we're going to blow this, 20-point lead we had. I want to look at the stats for the quarter in terms of the team stats. I'm not so much concerned about the individual player stats. It's more the team stats I want to have a look at. But yeah, second half, 34-22. Not good. Not good. They had 4 offensive rebounds to 1, 9 assists, 28 points in the paint. They just absolutely killed us. They missed a free throw even. They didn't even hit that many threes. They just destroyed us and we shot the ball poorly. But on the game in total, we're still, have really good positive shooting splits. 12 offensive rebounds to 4. Second chance points, 16-4. Our biggest lead was 21. It's currently 6, so it's not as if we're losing at this point, but it's really disappointing to give up a lead like that, so late in the game. But hopefully we can just finish strong and not blow a 20-point lead. That would be ideal. All right, start is in except for Bronny, I think. We've got Walsh at the 4, Gary at the 5, Cam Thomas at the 2, and then Brandon Miller at the 3. Cam Thomas, first shot off the bench, extends the lead to 9, has his 5th 3 on the game, now has 17 as well. He's been pretty quiet, hasn't played a great deal of minutes, but maybe he's what we need in this last quarter. He is known for his clutch scoring and his big outbursts. Great D by LaMelo. That is a tough shot to make. We stop it. LaMelo, speaking of LaMelo, gets the ball in the outlet. Finds Gary. Cam Thomas can't get his defender in the air. Kicks it to Brandon Miller in the corner. Drives left. Finishes strong. No, he doesn't. Unfortunately, we can't get the bucket to go. Unfortunately, De'Aaron Fox makes both his free throws. I was a little surprised. You probably could have told from the tone of my voice that that was a shooting foul, but we're not going to worry about it too much. Cam Thomas in the corner again. Knocks down another 3. Let's get this lead back to double digits. A good find by LaMelo. Cam Thomas, 6 threes on the game. Maybe we've not used him enough in this one. Gary, good defense. Don't foul, don't foul, don't foul. Good, good, good. Offense. We don't concede the offensive rebound. LaMelo trying to finish inside. It's not on. Okay, back out, back out, back out. Walsh set the screen. There we go. Find Walsh down low. Go up with it. Left hand. 27 on the game for Walsh. And we get back to a 10-point lead. LaMelo, 13 assists on the game. De'Aaron Fox gets the ball off the inbound. He steps outside of the court and turns the ball over, most importantly. Maybe that's just the break we need to extend the game. Cam Thomas. Being guarded by Grady Dick. We'll get Walsh in the pick and fade. Cam Thomas gets the and one! Inside, he took off from the foul line just. Finished strong with the left hand. That was beautiful. And hopefully we can knock down some free throws. It was actually only a free throw. We only get the 1 bucket. Cam Thomas gets the lead back to a 13-point game. We'll drop a little bit on De'Aaron Fox. Hand off to Grady. Get around the screen, get around the screen. Good, 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 good. Stay with him, stay with him. There's the dump down low. Oh, Gary's injured. No! The Gaz man. All right, he's injured. Let's call a timeout, get him out of there. We'll figure out what the injury is. All right, the Gaz man has an unknown left hip injury. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that means, but he's been subbed out and he's going to be done for the game. Bronny is in the game now. We've officially got the starters back in, and we turn the ball over first possession without the Gaz man. It is not going well. De'Aaron Fox for 3 on the other end. Fortunately misses. Thomas gets the rebound. Okay, Brandon Miller has a bit of space. Not a great deal of space. Let's go Cam Thomas inside. Pulls up at the elbow. LaMelo gets an offensive rebound, of all people. LaMelo Ball gets an offensive rebound. Brandon Miller in space, pulls up, knocks it down. He started the game really hot and then it's just sort of quieted down as the game's gone on. Nobody picks up Chomchi on the other end. Now a 12-point game. Okay, good rebound, LaMelo. Let's run now. Walsh is out, Walsh is out. Take the three. You're wide open. 30 on the game for Walsh. Grady Dick. Good defense, Brandon Miller. Okay, Cam Thomas has all the space in the world. He now has 30 with a three. 16-point game to the Lakers. 7 threes for Cam Thomas. Bronny gonna drive. Cam Thomas for three again. Hits again. Back out to a 20-point game. And bear in mind, Karl-Anthony Towns hasn't played this game. Although the injuries are starting to add up. We've obviously got Karl-Anthony Towns who's injured. We got Kent Gary who's injured as well. Bronny, ooh, slow it down, slow it down. Cam Thomas trying to get De'Aaron Fox up in the air. Walsh in the mid-range, gives it up. Drive with Cam Thomas, get inside. Makes it. We just saw on the ticker just before the timeout that Gary is going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. Walsh notches up the double-double with that last rebound. Let's find Cam Thomas. Let's get some more points on the board. He's open for three. Oh, he couldn't hit it, unfortunately. He's got 38. He's been exceptional this quarter. Do not foul Jacoby Walter. It's another offensive rebound, unfortunately. How many seconds in the key, guys? There we go. We forced the turnover. Both free throws made for Cam Thomas. Now a 31-point game. What was it? 6 or 8 points at three-quarter time? This has been incredible this last quarter. Hartenstein really calling for it on the perimeter there. Grady Dick, well contested by Bronny. Walsh gets another rebound. We'll give it to LaMelo. I think we're going to get one last offensive possession here. I don't think Thomas is going to be able to get 50. We'll give it up to LaMelo. We'll give it back to Thomas. Can't get Jacoby Walter up in the air. We can't get 48 for Cam Thomas. That's okay. But what, a really strong first half. Then we almost blew the lead in the third quarter. And then the comeback in the fourth to end the game, winning by 31 against one of the top seeds in the Eastern Conference. And the surprise packet in the fourth quarter, Cam Thomas ends up as the 2K player of the game with an absolute bolt out of nowhere. He ends up with 46, 5 and 4, 10 for 15 from deep, 4 or 4 from the foul line, 56 points responsible for, 35 points in the second half, including 32 in the fourth quarter. Absolutely incredible. Richard Walsh was exceptional. Hit 5 threes in the end with his 30 and 13. Was probably the most consistent player we had. LaMelo had 17, 5 and 15 to go with a block. Brandon Miller was good, in batches. Gary 16 and 12 before his injury. Bronny had 13, 6 and 9. Really efficient game. And then Collier just with the 12 minutes and the 7 points. In terms of the Raptors, De'Aaron Fox, 38, 6 and 8. In his first game as a Raptor, it should be said, was very good. The trade in the end, I did get a notification during halftime, was De'Aaron Fox and a second round pick in exchange for RJ Barrett and Gary Trent Jr. going to the Miami Heat. Scotty Barnes, 24 and 10. Pretty good defensive work for him, but 10 for 27 from the field, including 1 for 6 from deep isn't fantastic. Grady Dick knocked down a couple of jumpers towards the end of the game. But apart from that, it was really only De'Aaron Fox and Scotty Barnes keeping the Raptors in this one. Fourth quarter, we outscored them by 25. Really good work. Really happy with how we played in the end. 8 points off of turnovers always helps. But if we look at the total spread of the game, 14 offensive rebounds to 6. It's not something to be proud of. But I'm really happy with how resilient we were in the face of adversity. 19 threes on the game, in shooting 61% from the field. 8 for 10 from the foul line. Pretty good with that in the end. 50% from 3. Only conceded the 3 turnovers for our team. 5 turnovers for them on their team. But we only let them score 2 points off of turnovers, which is really competitive. They outscored us in the paint, in the second chance points and the bench points. But we, in the end, ended up getting the fast break points to really secure this victory. Having now completed the Raptors game, I don't think there's any other games for us to do before the trade deadline that I think will be interesting. So what I'll do is I'll simulate through to the trade deadline. And I think the reason we'll stop at the trade deadline, I don't think we'll play any of the games before the trade deadline. But there's the Bucks here, which could be interesting. The Hornets are 11 and 19. The Nuggets, the Bulls. Those games aren't really interesting. So what I'll do is I'll go through to the trade deadline. And then in the next episode, we'll do any trades that we might need to do before the trade deadline. And then next episode, we'll do All-Star Weekend. I think that's what we'll do. But anyway, let's get the simulation on the road. Gary is injured, as we did mention. And he's going to spend some time out of the rotation. Towns is just going to sit there for now as well. Hopefully we can get some wins on the board. Towns is now healthy, which is great. Okay, Towns is now back in the rotation. We just fixed that up. And we'll have a quick look at the game surrounding Towns' return. So Miller had a really good game here, 47 and 6 with 11 assists up against the Clippers where we absolutely smoked them. LaMelo also had a double-double, as did Bronny. If we have a look at his numbers, having a really good season. Very happy with his work. But let's continue forward to probably the end of this week. We've just got Brandon Miller, who's out of the rotation for now, just having a bit of a rest before All-Star Weekend. I don't think any injuries have come along. Kent Gary is back, but he wasn't in the rotation anyway, so we'll just leave that as is for now. And now Chester Malone, who's one of our bench prospects, is now injured. I'll patch this up. Continuing with the simulation, normal starting five, back into practice. And I'm really happy with how we've been going so far. We've only lost 3 games in the simulation. And as soon as I say that, we lose the game. We're getting a trade offer here. Sadiq Bey and a pick swap via the Suns for Bronny. I'm going to say no to that. But 35 and 3 to start the season has been very good. Chester Malone is back. That didn't take very long. And now LaMelo is also out with an injury. We'll sub him out. I'll make some more adjustments to the rotation. Continuing the simulation now. We're doing very well. Richard Walsh had a minor injury, but he has now recovered from that. He's now got a sore ankle. Cam Thomas has an injury. We're getting injury central now. Okay, let's just go back into this. We'll get Cam Thomas down here. LaMelo can go back to playing point guard with Bronny playing at the 2. That is fine. We now have a meeting with our CFO. She wants to get to know more stuff about basketball. You can come in the booth with us. That's fine for the next game. These are sort of repeated segments from last season. Brandon Miller now has a hairline fracture in his finger. He's going to be out for 1 to 2 weeks. So I think we can actually play Cam Thomas through his injury. Brandon Miller, he can sit out for now. Towns, how's he going upon his return? He's having a really good season, probably all-star numbers for him. Cam Thomas is averaging 27 a game. Walsh, just over 20 points a game. Bronny, very good season. And then LaMelo, basically 25, 7, and 11. Very, very nice. Oh, this is an interesting trade. Ja Morant and a first-round pick via the Thunder in exchange for Karl Anthony Towns and a first via the Hawks. I'm going to say no because we don't really need Ja Morant. But that is a very interesting trade. Cam Thomas, fully healed. He's back. Well, he was already in the team. Brandon Miller, we might just sit with this for now because I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to think about it and then I'll come back. All right, I've decided to take Cam Thomas out of the lineup for now. He's played the most games out of all of our starters except for Richard Walsh, who for the sake of his development, I want to play as many games as possible. So we've got Brandon Miller now back playing the 3. JJ Redick, what do you want us to do? Increase the intensity? I have already done that, but we'll do it again. That is fine. All right, a couple more games before the trade deadline. And hopefully we can get through relatively unscathed. That is not a good deal for us. We're currently 46 and 3. Towns has now got a hyperextended left knee, which I'll leave. He can play this Spurs game. That's fine. Hopefully he doesn't make it worse. Come on. He's healed from the injury. And we've lost the last game before the trade deadline. But we'll have a quick look at some of the games surrounding the trade deadline. I don't think there's any major moves for us to do, but we'll just have a quick scout to have a look at what's on offer here. We absolutely blow out the Thunder 151 to 116. Walsh played all 48 minutes. He's currently averaging 20.1 points per game, 8.4 rebounds, and almost 5 assists on his rookie campaign. Couple of blocks as well. He's been very good. Cam Thomas, 27 points a game. LaMelo, 26, 7, and 11. Bronny got 20 points in this one. He's averaging 6 boards a game. Not bad. Towns was a little disappointing in this game. Chester Malone getting some buckets. And then Collier not doing too bad either. We then had 2 really good wins against the Kings. Oh, we kept them to 9 points in the third quarter in this one. Kobe Buffkin, 26 and 6. He got a... he left the Hawks, in free agency, and he's having a very good season replacing De'Aaron Fox. So that is very surprising to see him playing well. Malik Monk, former Laker, only played with us for 1 season back in the day. He's having a very good career with the Sacramento Kings. Devin Carter hasn't proven to be a strong draft pick for the Kings in this series. We'll have a look at some of our guys in this one. LaMelo, again, really good. Walsh had a good game, made all of his free throws, as did Cam Thomas and Karl Towns. LaMelo, 19 for 20 from the foul line. And then we had another away win. Actually, this was a home win against the Kings. LaMelo had 47, 8, and 13. Miller was good. Towns was good. Walsh and Bronny were also very good. And then this last game we'll look at against the Spurs. Wemby had 27, 7, and 4. Jalen Duren had 21 and 17 in a pretty low-scoring encounter for us, actually. We only barely scored 100. And then Brandon Miller and LaMelo, had really good games, although LaMelo did have 7 turnovers and fouled out. Now that we've reached the trade deadline, we're not going to make any deals in this video, but I will have a look at some possible deals before we start the next episode. But one thing that we will look at as we're sort of coming into All-Star weekend is the All-Star voting, because we do have a couple of guys who might make the All-Star game. Obviously, Luka is leading the voting for the Western Conference in the backcourt, but LaMelo's in the top 4. We've got a few players injured, which means some of our guys might get some spots down the line. I know Damon Galloway, who's a third-year player, who's the #1 pick back in the day, having a very good season for the Jazz. 24, 5, and 5, steal and a half per game. He's been very good. We'll look at the front court. We can see that Brandon Miller and Karl Anthony Towns are potential All-Star nominees as well. We'll go to the East now. Tyrese Halliburton leading the way for the Eastern Conference. I don't think we'll see any of our guys here, but Kobe White here getting some All-Star love. I don't think he'll make the game. He's quite low in the votes, but interesting to see that he's getting nominated. And then for the front court, no surprise of some of the people being nominated here. Anthony Davis, 34 years old, free agent at season's end, could potentially retire, we don't know. And then, actually, their front court is quite weak in terms of some of the talent here. Obviously, Embiid's now 33, Bam Adebayo, more of a defensive presence, but Pascal Siakam, if we had some of our other players on this Eastern Conference side, I think we'd get a few more players potentially making the All-Star team. Luka Doncic currently injured. LaMelo Ball, second in the MVP race, and Richard Walsh, not considered for the All-Star game, but 4th in MVP, which is very interesting. Jokic 3rd, Wembanyama 5th. Rookie of the Year, no surprise that Richard Walsh is leading the way with that one. Rob Dillingham leading the way for 6th Man of the Year. That is not very surprising. He has been very good for the Suns so far, averaging just over 20 points per game on very good shooting splits. He's going to be looking for a big contract this offseason. Whether the Suns pay him or not, we don't know. But Colby Jones, who was on Brooklyn last year, getting some 6th Man of the Year love. As is Jalen Green, so I think he's probably playing behind Ahmed Thompson, but on very good shooting splits. Not so much from the foul line, but 3-pointers and field goal. He's been very good. Defensive Player of the Year, none of our guys really represented here. Anthony Davis isn't in and around the place, but I dare say this will be Wembanyama's award for life. Most Improved, Bronny James leading the way. And our former player, Cam Christie, who's averaging 17.5 points per game for Brooklyn. 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists. Doing very well for himself. But Bronny, what a season he is having. His shooting splits have sort of dropped off a little bit, but he's spending more time in the starting lineup. He's probably played a few too many starts to be eligible for the 6th Man of the Year. Yeah, he's had more starts than he has He's had more than half of his games have been starts, is what I'm trying to say. Zion and Wemby up there for Clutch Player of the Year. But that is very interesting. And we'll have a look at the standings. Quick thing before we go. Dallas, we're first and foremost, I should say. But Dallas second, Spurs third. Jazz up there after... imagine if they had Richard Walsh as well as Damon Galloway. But they've got Travis Snow, who was a top 5 pick a couple of seasons ago. Cody Williams is very good. Evan Mobley, Nikola Jovic, who obviously we traded to the Jazz. Keontae George coming off the bench. He's having a very good career. Jordan Walsh getting some love. Obviously former Boston Celtic Isaiah Collier. His career's not really gone to plan. But yeah, they have a very good team. OKC down in the 5 seed, Memphis, Minnesota, Portland, Phoenix in the 9 seed, Denver, Golden State, the Clippers, poor Clippers. And then we head over to the East, Orlando, top of the East, Toronto in the top 3, Indiana, who's sort of been the best Eastern Conference team, for a little while now since the start of the save file. They've made the finals twice. Miami are in 4th, but they've lost 6 in a row. And then Brooklyn and Cavs, Detroit, Celtics, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. But I think that will do it for today. Trade deadline. We're at the trade deadline, and then we'll hop into the All-Star festivities next episode, depending on how it plays out, how many guys we'll have in the All-Star game. But I think that is going to do it for today. I don't think we have any contract extensions that are eligible for. We do. We have Royce O'Neal. Great. He wants to sign a minimum. He might be a trade asset, so sure, we'll give him. We'll extend his contract for 1 year. Why not? And then we'll trade him in the offseason because I don't think we'll use him at any point. But that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy. And until next time, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys then. Bye.